Only one way to settle this, let's battle. So Jessica Simpson was one of the hottest celebrities at the time that we premiered ALTAR BOYZ Off-Broadway. And she said something like, the Backstreet Boys were the best boy band on the planet. And I remember feeling very proud of my boys, my ALTAR boys. How dare she say that the Backstreet Boys were the best? I believe that my boys were the best, especially since they were performing 8 times a week. They were not lip syncing. They were dancing. Like, it was extraordinary, the talent of a Broadway performer, right? I decided to challenge the Backstreet Boys to a boy band battle. So I wrote this in like an open letter, and then I placed the letter, an ad of the letter itself, in Time Out New York. Then I FedExed the letter to the Backstreet Boys manager. And then when they didn't respond, I FedExed the copy of the Time Out magazine. And then when they didn't respond, I FedExed a rubber chicken to them, like they were chicken. All that I wanted was a response out of it. We did everything. We pushed, and this is back in 2005, right? So like the internet was not what it was. Well, we were all over every Backstreet Boys like message board and MySpace or whatever the heck was going on at the time, trying to get their attention. We were poking the Backstreet Boys bear, if you will. Just poke, poke, poke. No response, no response. So then comes the day we're gonna do this boy band battle, and I'm like, I have really like set this up to be a big deal. How are we gonna make this an interesting experience for everyone that comes? So that's when we really had some fun. First thing I did was I hired a limousine to pick up the boys about 4 blocks away and drive down Times Square and right in front of the Virgin Megastore. And like drop them off like they were arriving like a massive boy band. Then I got actors to dress up like security guards and paparazzi, so when they stepped out, we could make a big deal about it. And then I called now casting director Daryl Eisenberg, who was an NYU student at the time and interning for me on the Awesome 80s Prom, I think, and said, do you want to really cast? It was probably the beginning of her casting career, a bunch of groupies from NYU. And she got, I think we had like 100 girls from NYU start about 2 blocks away from the Virgin Mega. They made signs, I love you, Matthew, I love you, Mark, Luke, Abraham, Juan, like all of it. And when the limo came around the corner, they chased it down the street. So what happens when you do that in Times Square? Like there was a massive commotion created. What big stars are coming? The ALTAR Boys got out of the limo and went into the Virgin Megastore. And then what happened? So many people in Times Square followed them. And then we did a live performance, and no, the Backstreet Boys did not show up. Asterisk to this story, the limousine was probably one of the most special parts of it. I hired a limousine to do it, and the funny thing is the limousine did not show up. I was waiting with my boys on 8th Avenue and 44th Street, no limo, no limo, no limo. So what no one knows until right now is that at that moment when no limousine showed up, I literally started flagging down stretch limousines. And somehow I found a white stretch limousine, pulled up, and I somehow convinced this guy to put these guys in the back and drive them around the corner. And what I remember, I wish I still had this guy's name. He was the nicest guy that saved that promotion, which ended up being a big hit. And if the Backstreet Boys had shown up, we would have absolutely defeated them.